What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, getting down with fresh out prison talks. And you know, these prison talks is different. We lacing youngsters up. We spitting game. We're not glorifying any of this bullshit. We trying to show you through life examples that you can make a change, and that, yeah, the story might have something behind it, but there's a lesson to be learned. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I'm here with the homie Premo, the general from Sacramento. And man, it's crazy. I'm sitting here. I'm from Highlands. He from Oak Park. Back in the day when I was growing up, man, it was a lot of drama between Oak Park and Highlands.
Yeah.
You know, it's Sacramento. People think that, you know, the capital. Sacramento ain't no joke, man. You don't want to get caught up out there in the bullshit because it goes down. But, you know, I'm happy to be here with my man, and a friend of mine that I grew up with introduced me to him so we can chop it up. But I wanted him just to talk about a little bit about how it is in Oak Park, and how people don't understand like how these different little neighborhoods work, and how you were able to take that and transform yourself. Because, you know, people say, oh man, I grew up in there, I don't have this, I don't have that, and they make a lot of excuses. We find a lot of reasons why we can't do something. And why don't you have reasons why you can do something, you know? And so you're a perfect example of how you took, you know, an environment, but you didn't use that as a reason why you can't do something.
Mm-hmm. I found reasons, like I said, well, you know what I mean? I found reasons, like you said, to make myself push to do right. Like, you know what I mean? It's so easy to make me do the wrong decision, but it's like that same choice, I can make a right decision.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I just try to turn my negative into a positive this time.
For somebody who doesn't know, man, you know, growing up in that environment, like, give them a one-on-one on what was going down in Oak Park. 'Cause I know Oak Park was, you know, it was lit, man. It's a lot of gangbang, there was a lot of stuff, a lot of drug dealing out there. A lot of rappers came from there.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot of, you know what I mean? Well, growing up in Oak Park, to me, it's like, it was like rough, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't no regular growing up, you know what I mean? Like, I had a hard upbringing. You done seen the shootings, you done seen the murders, you done seen everything. So it's like, I experienced it. So it's like, it's not nothing that I would glorify, but I mean, like, it was my home. It was what I knew. That's all I know still to this day. So, you know what I mean? I don't know, but it's like, just growing up in Oak Park was just like, it was hard. That's the only thing I really can make it. It was hard.
Who were the role models out there?
The homies was the role models to me at that age and growing up was the dope dealers. You know what I mean? Like, the people that I seen getting money I wanted to have that flashy car. You know what I mean? I wanted to have them rims. I wanted to have them clothes. I wanted to have the jewelry, the girls. So my role models was never the man that went to work. It was, I seen the hustlers, the pimps, you know what I mean? The players, the street dudes, you know what I mean? That's what was glorified to me growing up. That's what my role models growing up, was the streets.
Do you think the exposure is what determines a lot of times what these kids aspire for? Because I know, like in Sacramento, like you said, Oak Park, North Highlands, Rancho Cordova, Del Paso Heights, and then you have like Laguna Creek, Rockland, El Grove, where you have people. It's a whole Folsom.
Yeah.
You know, so in these places I talk about, if you're black, you get caught over there. What you doing over here?
Yeah, you automatically gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You're not gonna look like you fit in over there. You know what I mean? Because it's, like you say, it's so close to each other, but it's so far away from each other because of the way we upbringing. When you get off that freeway going to Oak Park or going to the Heights or going to them areas, you can tell where I'm at. But then you also, like you say, you go to Laguna Creek and you go up, when you go off that freeway, it looks just different. And it's the same city though. And it's the same
city,
people,
yeah.
It's the same, they got everything we got over there, but it's just the way ours is policed and the way ours is regulated. Or I guess it looked like it's the tribes. Our tribes is broke down differently.
Do you think that mentality-wise, because of just the way it's set up demographically-wise, it kind of programs a lot of these young people to think a certain way? Because I know for myself, I thought a certain way until I was exposed to like some of these other areas, like, you know, going on the Folsom, you see these big ass houses, you're like, damn, you know, what are they doing over here? Or, you know, you go into Rockland and you see it's not that type of hostile environment. Do you think like that in itself impacts how we see a lot of youngsters moving and grooming in the streets?
Yeah, because it's like you never even think about going that way. It's like when I was growing up, I was just always, we was just comfortable with what we seen. You know what I mean? We never knew the big, like you say, the bigger house unless we going trick or treating on Halloween and stuff like that. We're going in their area to go get their candy, and then you look and be like, damn, their house don't look like ours.
Yeah.
Because if we say we never would see that, you know what I mean? As a kid, I would just see the houses in the hood, the 3 bedrooms, the little 40 bedrooms. We thought that was big growing up, and then you go see a real big house, and then you'll be like, you know what I mean? That's like you see a Chrysler, you think it's big until you see the Bentley, then you be a difference. So it may look the same, but it's not the same, if it makes sense.
Did you ever have the opportunity growing up to see like that other side and then reflect back on it? I know I seen it a little bit, but not enough to impact me when I like went to one of my white partner's house and I seen, you know, a Jag in the driveway or an old Porsche. I'm like, wow, you know, because I never seen a Porsche in the hood. I ain't never really seen. I seen maybe one dude with a Rolls Royce, but it wasn't like you seen it on a regular Benzes and stuff like that. So, and I never interacted with anybody who's, you know, people were a doctor, a lawyer, or a CEO. I'd never really seen that. And I think, you know, it wasn't until after I got to the pen and got around more people, then after that started going to these places to interact with those people, that I really noticed that society is structured not so much on racial profile, but economics, you know.
Yeah, I did notice that, like, you know what I mean, everybody had the little white friend that you grew up with, that went to school with, that you go to his house and you notice, like, damn, he don't got a care in the world. He got all the J's. He look like he just got it made in the shape. But when you going back to your house and you got to share your shoes with your brother and your cousin probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like you say, but we didn't know that because they both was working in the household, and probably was only me and my mom in our house. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't know that he was double income. So we just thinking that he just had it made in the shape. But it was like, I don't know. It was just a culture shock when I did go to their houses. And you see, like, they don't really ask twice for what they want. It was like, they ask, they get it. With us, we gotta wait, gotta save up to get it. So it was like, you know what I mean? It was culture shock. But
do you think the schools? Do you see a difference in the schooling too, as far as like what they pushed in the schools, as far as career choices, as far as in different areas? I know, like, in one hand, when I went to school in Orange County, you know, people were talking about college and SATs or ASATs. I'm like, damn, I hadn't really taken any of that serious. Where, you know, when I was going to school in SAC, everybody just was just going to school, just kicking it. It wasn't like nothing serious, you know. It wasn't no push to really go to college per se or start your own business. Everybody was just worrying about, it was like school was about fashion and just, you know, trying to bust some cheeks.
We was going to school. We wasn't even really interested in the school. We was there like for fashion. Like you said, I'm there to see who got the new shoes on. With my homie, we want to see who. That's how you basically, like the popularity contest. We went to school specifically was just to be popular. None of us had, like you say, dreams after this high school was over where we was going to go to the next level. Yeah. We never thought like that. We wasn't in the group thinking about what school you applied to, you know what I mean? But it was probably some people at that school doing that, but it wasn't just in the crowd that I was in. So not to say it wasn't happening, but just in the crowd that I was circling in, like you say, we was just on to go to the next grade, just hoping to get out of school and run the streets. We never had no dreams of going what our career was going to be later on in life. And they wasn't showing us this in class, though. I never had no class, no teacher was like, well, today curriculum going to be, let's go sign out for class. We're going to do colleges and we're going to look for this and get your GPA to be this to get to this school. We never had them kind of trainings. It was just, here go this test, do it, get out of class, go.
Yeah. It was almost like routine, just like to hurry up and get you out of there and get your asses, get the next group in there. But it wasn't any really push to further. And that's one of the things, you know, when I reflect back, man, and when I talk to, you know, different brothers, man, and you know, people who kind of grew up in similar environments, and I look back like, dude, on a large scale, you're not even scratching the surface, or you're not even on the competition board. Mm-hmm. So when you talk about like really competing on a global scale with business and all this stuff, you're nowhere near that. You're not even, you have no idea what it takes to even enter into the game, because of like you said, how we've been prepared, man. The preparation is just so subpar, man. It's disgusting, man, in the sense where these kids, their options are either you're gonna go and get just a bullshit job, and if you don't get that bullshit job, you know, you better hurry up and go into a trade or go into the military, or you're really not gonna, you know, accomplish too much.
They never even had that at our school. Like, they never even gave us, like you say, give you like traditional trades, or to try to give you a career path, to even try to show you what career looked like. We never even knew that at high school. See what I'm saying? At my high school, it was just go to school, be at the gym, meet up with the homies, get some Powerades, go to lunch. Like they were just passing us along. That was just they were just shooing us on to the next grade, bro. Just get out their hair to the next class. Like nobody, there was never a career day. It was never no people that came to our school that had on their career suits and was talking and doing all that. We never got none of that. But I'm pretty sure at the other schools, they have all them days established on their schedule when the school year start.
Have you ever seen anybody as far as that look like yourself or myself, like in a professional perspective, come and talk to the kids or share something to create, to inspire? I'd never seen it. The first time I ever talked to another brother, man, that actually had a foreign, was in prison. This brother had Testarossa, Saab, BMW, Benzes, lived in a big house, and used to go to these different places. And I was like, wow, man, it was like I never even fathomed that. I mean, you seen little stuff, but it was always like a cap. Like, usually, the dude in the hood, maybe he had the 50 on some D's, or maybe you had a dude might have a little BMW or something, but it wasn't like, and it was in the drug game, but it was never anything of a professional stature. And it's like, I didn't really put it all together, but I'm like, damn, man, I'd never thought about that before, because wasn't nobody teaching us about S Corp, C Corp, LLCs, not even really going to get your business license to register with the franchise tax board to even create a business. There was nobody doing that, man. So this is stuff we all had to learn for ourselves, man.
Yeah, and when you telling some kids to learn something on themselves, that's something that you actually got to probably be embedded in for years. Then it's going to be hard for the street dude that you got to go, like you say, LLC and go build your credit up. They never told us that at school. I never had no credit class to show you that if you just put a phone in your name, go get you a little bit of jewelry and pay it all off and your credit to go up.
Yeah.
Nobody told us that, you know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure at them other schools, they got classes for that. So it's like it's all about the schools that they give us and the books that they gave us. It's like they wasn't showing us to success for later on in life. They was just, you're here right now, this is what I'm gonna teach you, go on about your way.
I always say too, it's a lot of nepotism in society in general, but the fruit not falling far from the tree is having that conversation at the dinner table where you have maybe an uncle who's a hedge fund manager, or your aunties in real estate and stuff like that, where you learn that stuff. Because school, I look at it, it's pretty much public school. They don't teach you shit. You go in there, you learn to be a robot or a future sheep to go work for somebody else to make them a bunch of money. But you're not learning how to be a boss. You're not learning things that are gonna, put you in a captain position. You're always gonna be somebody doing something for somebody else to make them a lot of money. So I always say that, not having, those people, like you said, around you to influence you on that, whether, going to be a doctor, because, that wasn't even something anybody ever talked about. You ever thought about going to med school or pre-law or anything? I mean, who do you know ever said anything about that?
I'm 42 years old right now, and I can promise you that all the people I know growing up that went to school with me, I don't think none of them left there and went to medical school. But I bet you if they got the opportunity and realized what kind of lucrative it could be and what that would get you and your family if you do this, I'm pretty sure some of the females in that school would have went ahead and followed that suit, because they would have did it, but they didn't have the opportunity. Nobody told them that was the option. Just like when you in the streets, like you say, my role models was the dudes from the streets. Because I'd never seen nobody going to work all the time. Now, if I'd have seen the man with the suit on driving that foreign car, he looked better in that Mercedes and that BMW than that motherfucking first Mustang on them Daytons. You know what I'm saying? I would have looked at Mercedes. I wanted to go follow what he wanted to get this Mercedes and this BMW. Not that Mustang on them Daytons. But all I seen was the Mustang on the Daytons. So that's what I thought I was striving for. So I never got to see, I never had a friend, that family member had a foreign.
And the sad thing is, all those people, we know, having grown up around, are just as intelligent. It's just a matter of application. And if you could apply yourself and you really, buckle down and be like, hey man, they're no different than me, I'm no less than them. It changes your mentality, because a lot of it's confidence, man. And that's one of the things, like I saw that movie King Richard, about Serena Venus' story, about the dad and Richard, how he, was in Compton and took him down to the the tennis court, and it was beat up and they were out there hitting balls, and then you had, the gang members hating on them and stuff like that. And it, like, dude, it turned my stomach when I seen, like, how we we trample on each other, man. We try to come up, you doing something right, you trying to do something for your family, do this and that, and it's like, it's not like you're worried about this other person. It's somebody that looks at that's mad at you because you're trying to create better opportunities.
I'm already fighting the fight already. The race has already started before I can even take off. Now I got to fight with my own people too. So we hurting ourselves. They already halfway to the finish line before we start the race. And then when I take off race, I got to worry about one of my own people tripping me.
Yeah.
How am I going to win that race?
Yeah.
It's like it's already set up to fail. Because like you just said, the people that's really going to go against you is somebody like you say that looks just like you. But he should be happy and applauding you. Instead, he going to be, because you want to make change in your life, you're not right. Why? Because I don't want to be stagnated for the rest of my life. I don't want to be stuck over here with you for the rest of my life. So since I want to get a camera and start shooting videos and do what I do, then I'm weird. Well, let me go be weird by myself. And when I get famous being weird, then you're going to be like, hey, bro, how you doing?
Yeah.
All of a sudden you remember me.
I knew you. That's the dude. He from my hood.
Yo, now you bragging to everybody that you know me, but a minute ago you was just downplaying me. They only want to know you when you get to the top. Nobody want to get there when they're at the bottom. They want to keep you down there. But once you fight through it and you realize, let them know I'm determined to get there, then all of a sudden they was, I knew you was going to make it, bro, on everything. I knew you had the drive to do it. You the same one that was over there talking behind my back to what's name and them. Talking, that nigga stupid. He ain't going to get nowhere. That shit ain't gonna...
He trying to be Hollywood. He funny style.
You see where I'm coming from? So that's the code get down, bro. Like you say, the race is already halfway won. But then when I do take off and finally start fighting my own race, I got to worry about my own teammates tripping me. It's just a cold game.
Yeah, man. It's something I sit back and I think about, like, even people I grew up with, there's a handful I can still talk to. And I'm always telling my wife, like, man, I wish I had a team, because you can't build an empire without a team. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, you know, we're trying to be in the NFL. And we only got 2 players. We need, 80, 100 something players. We need backup. Mm-hmm. And we need some people to run the offensive line, defensive coordinators, running backs, the linemen, corner. I mean, we need all these specialists. And when you can't put that together and we can't work together, then it's like it's limiting us on our ability to be competitive. Mm-hmm. And so I always tell people, man, sometimes you go outside and it's like, oh, you kicking it with this Asian dude now, or you hanging out with this white dude. It's not about it's about people who have we all can help each other. Mm-hmm. Maybe this guy's gonna help me, edit a video. This guy's got a marketing background. This guy's got a graphic design background. Mm-hmm. It's all about like a vision to all collectively go forward and help us grow as a team. And that's how I looked at life, man. That's how I looked at when I was even in the pen. And it's just hard, man, finding mm-hmm. people who have that you can get on the same page and we all genuinely want to see each other win. Like me, I always see somebody nice, like if you do something, if you're an artist, damn, Premo, man, you should be selling your art. Oh, man, you know how to do them shoes. You should be selling your shoes. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, you know how to paint cars, man. Open up a shop. I like to see people win. I like, I've never been like, oh, man, you fixed your shit up ugly, man. Oh, man, you don't know how to draw, man. Or this, I can't. I'm not a hater, man. If you pull up in an Audi R8, oh, Primo got the R8. Oh, I'm gonna have to go bust me something now. It's exciting mm-hmm. to see you be doing well.
It's not hate though. It's competitive. It just make me want to do a little better.
It motivates me to mm-hmm. like, damn, would you learn that I hadn't learned lately to help you get this? Because it pushes, man. But that's I feel like that's what we need more of, to among ourselves. But that's my biggest thing, man. Is like I like seeing people win, man.
We need more people like that because I promise you, like you say, I'm the type of person. If you got something going on and I can help you in any way, I promise you I'm trying to help, and I'm not getting nothing in reward because I just want to see you win.
That's it.
I'm not asking you for nothing. I don't want to cut on the back end. I just want to see you win. So if you got some shirts you selling, I'll post it. I buy them. I support you. It's like if I like the product, I want to let somebody else see it, so hopefully they like it too.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But people won't do that. They'll like your product, but they won't buy it because you're the one that's selling it.
What do you feel is going to be the biggest push, going forward for our younger generation, for us to help them win and do better than what we did, so they don't make the same choices we made? Because I know we made choices. We both seen Juvenile Hall, we both seen the pen. I mean, what would you say would be the biggest thing to help these young men so they don't go down the same negative path?
They got to stop glorifying everything that the entertainers say. They got to stop thinking that the entertainers, what they rapping about or singing about is what's really going on in the world. Just be tuned in. Just pay attention to the world. And I promise you, we'll get better as a people and stronger as a person, as the overall core, is if we just look into ourselves. We don't worry about what the internet make you think you're supposed to be doing. If you don't think it's right, you shouldn't do it. Don't do it. Don't matter if the internet say it's tight. If you know it ain't tight, don't do it. And that's it. They got to get off that social. That social media is, to me, for the youth, for the young life. Everybody want to try to humiliate you so they can post a video of you on the internet to try to shame you. Everything goes back to the internet. It goes back to so the kids just got to just get back to living regular life. Just get back.
What do you think about the role of the parents, man?
That the parent play a part. The parent play a major part, because at the end of the day, it's like you got the first line of defense. They in your house.
Yeah.
You setting the bar. What you accept and what you allow to go on in this house is where it really starts at. They learning most of it when they get out there, so then you try to keep them from out there, get them things to do outside of that, put them in sports, put them in some extra school, after school creativities, do anything to keep them away from where you know the problem is at.
That's right, yeah. I say, and you have to be almost obsessive with it when it says, like, if you want to save your child and you know that they're the pool, every day he don't have no free time, he barely have time to fart. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Ride him.
You know what I mean? You got to ride him.
Get in their business. Get their phones. Stay on that phone.
Man.
All that. Ain't no kids in my house with no security codes on no phones. You know what you got to hide? What you got privacy?
Yeah, that's right.
You're a child. You ain't got nothing to be
that's
where
right.
you blocking your phone and codes. If you don't open that up and let me see what's in here, you got to get into their business. You got to get in there and stay persistent. Get in their business.
Yeah, I agree, man. Because I see a lot of parents. They're scared that, I don't want to offend them. The other parents, I don't want this and that. I'm like, dude, the hell with all that, man. That's your child, man.
We ain't trying to be your friends. We don't want to be your friends. That's what's wrong with a lot of kids and the parents. They do friendship. No, it's a respect ship. I'm your parent. I'm not your friend.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what you see a lot of girls, they got daughters and them act like they best friends. They falling out, fighting. And you don't do that with your parent. My parent, Mom was never our friend. She was our parent.
That's right.
What she said was law. You know what I mean? We debate, going back and forth.
Yeah, ain't no discussion.
When she said what she said, it was what it was. Big brother, we're not going to go clean that room. Okay. Nowadays, I did it yesterday. I'll do it when I come back. We never did that. We would have got hit 4-5 different times already before it happened.
Yeah, I already know. You're right.
So they got to get back in their business. You got to stay on them. You know what I mean? No, we're not friends. Yeah. You can't talk back to me. You want me to pay that phone bill, right?
Yeah.
I'll pay your phone bill. I'll cut that phone off.
That's right.
So get in there. Let me see that phone.
Even for other grown people, man. I mean, I go back like just a little bit, further than you. When like other adults, you even show them respect, even if you didn't know them. That's Miss So and So, right? Mm-hmm. Or that's so and so. Did you? We go somewhere. Hey, did you not see her to open the door for him? Mm-hmm. It was just a courtesy
it's a
thing.
Respect thing. I still do that to this
Old
day.
people, didn't matter who they are. Did you open? You don't open the door and shut. Did you not see them behind you? Mm-hmm. Just little things. When you teach those core values in there, that stuff. It trickles into other parts of your life, mm-hmm. and it helps you better present yourself, and people are like, oh, he was taught some manners.
And it lasts for a lifetime, because I still do that to this day. I swear, I'm not going no door before no older person. Like,
exactly.
They can be waiting. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to wait for them. And I'm going to let them get in there. Like, I'm not going to open it and walk in and close it.
Yeah. And you see them right behind you, the door shut on.
I was just instilled. That was just taught to me.
Yeah,
so like you say, no matter what. So it's like, go back to the child. That's because I learned that at home.
Yeah.
I was still ripping and running the streets and I was being bad, but I still knew how to be respectful because I learned that at home.
Yeah.
I didn't forget my training at home. I just chose to do some other stuff when I left home. But what I learned at home was still with me, though.
That's right.
So if you teach them with at home, and then it's like they might still go make a decision that you may not like.
Yeah.
But at least you gave them the fair shake of teaching them it at home. So I did learn mine at home. I just chose to go do other stuff.
Yeah, I was the same way. My grandma taught me certain things. When I came in her house, you didn't slam no doors. Mm-hmm. You always said hi. If she's sitting there talking to somebody, did you not see so and so? Did you say hi? Mm-hmm. Certain things you always did, and I always thought about, my grandma, what would she say? Or
kids walk up to you, be talking, they just stop you talking, just go right. We never would do that as a kid. I'm gonna sit there and be quiet till they stop talking. As soon as they finish, I'm gonna say, excuse me, and I'm gonna intervene.
That's right.
The kids will walk right up right now and just see you talking to a whole conversation. They just cut you off, be like, hey, you don't see us talking?
That's right. That's right.
That's rude. Like you don't get. And if they don't stop it, that's why they learn how to grow up to be later on. And then you see what keeps happening because they never was trained and never told them to stop doing that.
Yeah.
You got to get it to them when they're young. You got to tell them as a young man, like that's inappropriate to just cut me off while I'm talking to him. Give me a second, I'll be with you in a minute. Now he gonna know the next time he run up on you, he ain't gonna do it. So when he get older, he see two people talking, he gonna already know he learned that as a young man. I'm gonna be patient until they finish and I'm gonna holler in.
Right. Stuff you instill young that you pick up at a young age that it teaches you certain values and stuff like that. And I think, we need to get back to that. Some people are saying, oh man, they got rid of this and that in the classroom, but a lot of that stuff, what they switched it up with isn't giving our kids a better opportunity. It's actually making it worse. Mm-hmm. And I feel that just certain things, even if you're not, like you said, a certain religious preference, whatever, but it's certain values that we it's a mutual respect, you know, and it's like treating somebody with respect, giving them their space, letting somebody have their opinion, and being able to do that and not be confrontation, because we don't have to necessarily agree on everything, but it's a respect thing.
Yeah, because I don't think there's nobody in the world that got somebody that they disagree everything with. Like, you're going to have some kind of a, because I mean, we're not all the same. Like, you know what I mean? So some things you may believe in that I just may need to be either convinced, or I just might not even believe in it after you finish trying to convince me. But I'm going to give you that shot, though. You see what I'm saying? Some people just got tunnel vision. They think it's just their way is the only way. You know what I mean? I'm not that kind of person. Like, there's a lot of different people in the world, and you just got to go. There's a lot of different perspectives. You just got to go figure out which one works for you and which one don't.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, man. Hey, Big Herc 916, Premo the General, fresh out. Stop walking around with a crusty butt, smelly ball sack, and a funky hoo-ha. Big Herc said, wash that ass. Pick you up a t-shirt at freshoutseries.com.